All in all, solid results. I did come in heading into results a little bit tepid, primarily because of higher component costs like DRAM and SRAM, and it didn't hit the gross margin line as much as I had feared. But AI seems to be chugging along with the networking driving all the expectations, and as well as the upgrade cycle really being a tailwind.
What read, and look, we're going to wait for more commentary from Chuck Robbins and also from Mark Patterson, the CFO of Cisco, but we got some commentary in their earnings release. Carol read from it, the widespread demand for our technologies highlights the critical role of secure networking, the value of our portfolio. And then Mark Patterson, the CFO, said that they see strong demand for our refreshed networking products. Looking ahead, you can expect a continued focus on profitable growth, capital returns, and strategic investments to capture the significant opportunities ahead. How would you characterize demand right now?
Tim, I think you hit the nail on the head. I think there are some analysts who are out there really driving the AI story, and it's really not the AI story, not as much as one would think, right? It is an incremental tailwind, but there is this massive product upgrade cycle that's going on, and it's going to be a multi-year upgrade cycle for Cisco, and that's going to drive a couple of 100 basis points of growth versus the usual.
Cisco saying first quarter remaining performance obligations, $42.9 billion. Where is Ujin? Where is Cisco in this AI story? Remind us. Is this the on-premise?
Yeah.
Or just tell us where they fit into this spend.
So actually, they're playing both the enterprise side as well as on the AI data center side.
Okay.
They provide the high-speed optics, but they also provide chips to help enable scale across and scale out AI networking. But they've partnered with NVIDIA. They will be using ironically, NVIDIA chips in their boxes. So NVIDIA has their entryway to the enterprise where Cisco excels in.
Wait, explain that. Explain how that works. I mean, what we're trying to do is figure out exactly where all of these companies sit in this evolving ecosystem. Cisco's been around for years. There's a great piece on the Bloomberg terminal about, at least from a valuation perspective, it's approaching the dot-com bubble highs. But where does it fit into this new economy?
Well, if we think about where Cisco is in general, they are a staid legacy networking equipment vendor, right? No one gets fired for using a Cisco box, quite frankly, and NVIDIA understands that. And when the enterprises really start moving into AI, they haven't fully embraced it yet. Cisco recognizes that there will be certain customers who will want an NVIDIA chip in their box.
Right.
So think of it as a Trojan horse for NVIDIA. Why not use a Cisco box to power NVIDIA's AI, right? And it's a good, very, very good partnership. It's a win-win for both NVIDIA and Cisco.
But I think about how much time we spend talking about the hyperscalers and building out their data centers. So what is the Cisco component in all of this? Where do they fit in that story or that narrative?
So if we think about what the hyperscalers need, they need high-speed data transport.
Yeah.
Right. Cisco is a top 2 player of the high-speed optical plugs that connects the data centers together. That's number one. And then number two, they are a market leader in the routing side of the business. So
which means what?
Which essentially connects also the data transport from a data center to a data center, or from a switch or a computer to another computer, right? So they're going to be one of the key enablers for that technology. So they're actually inside the hyperscaler data centers. Now the one metric that I can give, last quarter, I believe they had an additional $1 billion in AI orders, all on the back end side, right? That's nothing to sneeze at.
No.
And I think they said $1.3 billion in hyperscale orders for this quarter.
Yeah.
Right. Fantastic numbers.
Yeah.
Fantastic numbers. However, when you're talking about a revenue base of $56 billion, it's really tough to drive the numbers there.
Well, can they get bigger?
Can it get bigger?
Can it realistically?
Well, yes, it can get bigger. The risk is that it's a lower margin business, right? So that profitable growth commentary that Mark Patterson said in the press release, that's very key to investors. because they do enjoy that 63 to this 68% gross margin figure, and they want to sustain that, right? The higher the AI mix, the more gross margin will erode. So they're going to balance that out.
The biggest competitors to Cisco, if Carol's question is if they can get bigger, but then who's fighting for that market share alongside Cisco?
Well, Arista is one of the companies that's fighting for that market share. Broadcom, because they provide the chips as well.
Yeah.
They're fighting for that market share. HPE, after their Juniper acquisition, they're all fighting for that market share. And
I was looking at HPE up just about 0.5 percentage point in the after hours.
Well, let me give you a wild card vendor, Nokia.
Oh, interesting. Because appearing alongside Jensen Huang lately.
Yeah, but they have
as a result of an investment.
So I mentioned Cisco as a leader in optical routing.
Yeah.
Right. Nokia is a top 3 vendor in optical routing, and AI needs optical routing. Nokia is someone to look at.
Does that explain NVIDIA's investment?
No, NVIDIA's investment was a little bit different, right? Because they're trying to put in more on the 6G base station. But Nokia will have their Analyst Day next week.
Okay.
Let's see what they have to say.
See, and I love like our preview of Cisco, and it said Cisco Systems investors have waited more than 25 years for the stock to reach levels last seen during the peak of the .com era. With the stock trading, it closed just below 74, but we see it up several percentage points in the aftermarket. A peak of 82. I mean, is this its comeback, or there's a lot more that needs to come? That this is a company that kind of stays at this level and can grow the business even more.
If we see the hyperbolic stock performances from like Meta, Microsoft, even Oracle for that matter, right?
Yeah.
We haven't seen that from Cisco. At the end of the day, they're an equipment manufacturer, right? And they are going to be capped by the amount of revenue. Like I said, $1.3 billion in order relative to a $52 billion base. Let's count that to other hardware companies.
Yeah.
Right? The AI component of other hardware companies like Dell, right? We're talking about $20 billion. 20% of their revenue could potentially come from AI. We're not seeing that from Cisco.
So all in all, optimistic about the current quarter and next year?
I'm liking the next couple of years because of the upgrade cycle and the cash flow that they're going to generate.
What if there is a bubble? Like, does Cisco come out looking potentially better?
Rosy.
Right?
Cash flow.
They're like, we've done this before.
Right. Like, our exposure is limited.
They can flip the story very, very easily.
Yeah.
Hey, look, told you it's a bubble.
Yeah.
Right? And we will still continue to give you, $12 to $15 billion in free cash flow to shareholders, buy back shares, and that is the flight to safety.